Hey Tara, Matt Philleo here in the studio. Just wanted to give you some help on that portrait of your children, or of all the children you're working on, I should say. And I'm going to give you a critique here via video, my webcam, and just go over some of the children there, especially the ones on the right-hand side that you had questions on. And just want to give you a hand so that you can get this portrait done here successfully by the end of the week. Because I know you need to ship that off to England, and that's super exciting, and I want to help you with this project here. So let me switch over to my desktop and we'll take a look. Okay, so here we have your picture up here, and it's looking great. You've been doing a fantastic job on everything overall, especially combining so many different pictures with different lighting into one cohesive image. And I love the collage process. I've done a few myself and it's very challenging, but you've pulled this off very well. So hats off to you for that. Now to your questions. I think you said you had questions regarding the likenesses of the boy on the right and the girl on the right as well. So let's see if I can pull up these individual images here. And these critiques here visually with the video is what I do anytime for my painting students. So anytime they need help, I'm more than happy to give them a video critique here. It's really kind of a neat process. Okay, and so I have this side by side here, the original photo and then your painting. And let's move that window out of the way. And overall, you really captured his look. I would say that you'd want to change his mouth just a little bit. I see the angle here goes up a little bit steeper than what you have it. And say, I don't know what degrees that would be, but you have it going almost straight across. It goes up a little bit higher. So you need to raise up his lip just a little bit on the side. And let's see. I think you did a good job overall on his eyes and eyebrows. I would say maybe to lighten up just a little bit on this side of his eyebrow. You can see it's a little more feathered there. Excuse me. And also you'd want to soften his eyebrows just a little bit in this area. It's a little darker on the bottom and a little lighter on the top. And that's what I see going on. And again, I'm having to be pretty picky because you've done a really good job with this. So I'm just helping you to refine it a little bit more. I would say also, Tara, that you'd want to darken the shadow on the side of his jawline. And you can see right here, it's a little bit lighter than what you have in the original photo reference. So you'd want to darken that shadow, and that'll give his face a little more dimension. Also, correspondingly, the shadow on this side of his nose is a little bit darker as well. So you'd want to do that. Now, you had some questions in regards to his eyes and the likeness there. One thing to remember with eyes is that the white of the eyes is not always white. Sometimes it actually gets kind of grayish in color. If I zoom in here, you can see that. Let's move that out of the way just a bit. And you can see how there's a shadow from his eyelid, and you'd want to capture that. These are just very faint nuances, but they're very, very important in getting a likeness. And that shadow on the white of his eye suggests that his eyelid has thickness to it. So you want to capture that thickness as well. You want to do the same thing on the other eyelid too, and so that is very, very important. But overall, yeah, it's looking really good. Now let's move down to her face. So I know you had some questions about her face in here. And the image that the photo you took is a little out of focus, but I can still see it fairly well. I would say that the bottom part of her lip as you see in the original reference photo, is just a little bit wider. So you'd want to increase the width here of that bottom lip. It actually is a little wider than the top part, whereas you have the top part of the lip wider and the bottom part narrower. You see the thickness here of the lip and how it goes all the way almost to the edge of the mouth. You want to extend that a little further. And then this top part of the lip, the upper lip, should be a little bit shorter and maybe even narrower. You do have the overall suggestion of her face, though. I mean, it really is a good likeness overall. So in these tips, don't freak out or think that your painting is really off. I mean, you've really done a good job. I'm just trying to help you fine tune it a little bit. And I would say, let's see, let's get that back. You want to feather her eyebrows a little more. One of the most important parts of a likeness of a face is the eyes and then also the eyebrows. They really give a person their own unique look. And so I would say feather her eyebrows a little bit more, and you'll really get it to look more like her. Right here, this is way, way too dark. See how this is feathered off, and it's just dark in this area here, and then kind of right here. Right here in this area, it's way too dark, and then also in this area as well. So that will really help it to look more like her. I think overall you got the shape of her eyes pretty nice, and the reflections in the eyes are well done. So that's good. And that's the main thing I see there. Now, we could go over the other faces a little bit, but I'm not going to do that in this particular critique. Right now, I'd just like you to address, the issues I pointed out as you want. I mean, I'm just here to help you, and you can take the suggestions and incorporate them as little or as much as you want. You did have a question on the background, whether it should be lighter, and I would say probably not. In fact, I would actually go darker, because you want the white of her dress to stand out. And I really like the color continuity, how you have blue throughout here. It really gives it an overall great color unity. So fantastic job with that. But no, you want the white of her dress to stand out. And right now the values between the face, all the faces, and the background are still very, very similar. So to create a little more separation between the foreground and background, I would say go even a little darker with the background. And what you could do is darken the top a little bit more and kind of fade it out to the bottom. Very, very gently. I mean, don't overdo the effect, but I mean, just a little bit darker up on top in general in the background, and then create a slow fade where maybe the bottom part here is kind of the same value it is right now. I mean, you just kind of leave this value the same, but you're just going to overall darken the top and slowly fade it down. And then maybe by the time it hits about this point here, just kind of draw a line here with my pointer, then it would be at the actual value it is currently. And so if you do that, you'll create a lot of separation between these figures on the top and a little bit with these figures as well on the bottom. And so anyway, I think if you take some of these tips, it'll really help. But you've got a great portrait. I'm sure they're going to love it. So whatever you do right now, in addition to what you currently have, is just going to be bonus. It's just going to make it that much sweeter. So just rest assured you have a great portrait going on. You have definite talent. And boy, that's exciting to ship that off to England. So just pray it would get there safely and the people there would love it, and I'm sure they will. And let me know if I can help you any further, Tara. That's what I'm here for. So have a blessed day and enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.